Hello, Reggie and Rebecca. Thanks for joining me. Give a few minutes for everybody to get joined. How was everybody's Easter weekend? Everybody have a good holiday? Should have some music or something going, so y'all groove while we're waiting on everybody to join. All right, can everybody see my screen okay? Awesome, thank you, Rebecca. Okay, well, welcome. My name is Candace Grandstaff, and I am going to be going over designs with you in Command today. This is my first time teaching on the regional level, so please, please, please be kind and give me lots of grace. If you are new to Command, you will need to log in at agent.kw.com. And you use the same login that you should have gotten in your welcome email. It's your Keller Williams Connect information. Once you're logged in, on the left-hand side, you will see all the different applet icons. We're going to go down to designs. If you're unsure which one is designs, this is a little thing that I like to do. If you click this KW, you'll get the names of each of the applets beside. So we're going to go down to designs. That's the one with the box and what looks like a paintbrush. And you'll see it come to this screen. So on here, we're going to go to create design. You can also import a design. It'll take you directly to the import window so that you can drag in a PDF to import that design. But it doesn't work very well as far as like if you're pulling a design in from another program, you're not going to be able to edit it really. So we're going to go ahead and do create design up here in the top right-hand corner. And we have 4 different options: email, social, print, and video. We're going to start with email, and we'll look at social and print in just a moment. So go ahead and click email and then continue. So why use an email design that's already made for us? Well, because it helps us to stay in compliance. So it has all of the information that we're going to need to send out with our emails. We have a wide range of templates available for us so that they're already made. We're not going to have to make too many changes in order to get our email out quickly. But if you do not like any of these, you can import an HTML of a different email template from a different email template provider, such as MailChimp or something like that. We're going to go, or you can create, or you can start one from blank. We're going to go ahead and look at the templates though, and select one that we like the look of. Let's look at this one, approachable. You'll notice throughout designs that the same name convention is throughout. So you'll see modern, classic, and approachable throughout all the different aspects of designs. These all tie together and have elements that are similar. So we're going to click approachable newsletter B and hit next. It's important when making any design that we change the name so that we know what this design is in relation to. So for this one, I'm going to say RTT test. Now, it'll look a little funky when you first come in here. Notice that there's some weird like markings and names and stuff like that. Those are called merge tags. You'll see them throughout command. And what they do is this will be replaced with the market center name. So even though it has the pipe, asterisk, and market center name, asterisk, pipe, it'll replace that when we send it. So it may look a little odd to start out with. You've also got different elements that you can add to your email here. There is an image, subheadline, and then there's some weird text, right? This says lorem ipsum dolor sit et. This is just filler Latin to have to be as a placeholder for you to change in any way that you feel like you would like to have it be, you know, like whatever wording you would use there. Apologies, I am a little sick, so you may hear me mute myself just to cough so that I don't have to cough in your ear. There's also a button here. So maybe for this one, we would say, oh, we're going to have an image here. Let me see. I'm going to go find an image of a house. If you're going to use images off of Google Images, you do want to make sure that you have the usage rights as Creative Commons license, or else you can get dinged for that. And also, if you are doing a house that maybe that you have listed, that's okay. But if it's somebody else's listing, make sure that you get permission to use those photos before you use them. So I like this one right here. So I'm going to save image as, and save that. So if we come back over here, if I double click this, it'll say edit image. So I can hit replace here and replace it with my images, with listing images, or I can drag and drop and add images. So I'm going to open this image up that I just downloaded, maybe not, because I don't know where it went. That's okay. We're going to look at listing images and we're going to pick one there. All right, let's see. Let's pick this one in Sarasota here. Replace. Let's try again. Oh, pick a different place. Let's pick this one and hit replace. You can change the alt text, and what that is that if I hover over this, it'll say what that picture is. This is important for accessibility. You can link to a landing page or a specific web address. You can change the width and height. You can change the border radius. That is the rounding of the image here. And you can choose which position that you want the image in. So when we're done, we're going to click done up here. It's going to put our image in there. Same thing with subheadline. What's your home worth? And then we're going to click done. So all I'm doing is double clicking on each element here and changing the information. And when you click done, it puts it over here. So you go through, we'll change anything here. If we don't want something, you can always delete it. So we can delete some things. And if you scroll all the way to the bottom, you can see all of your information here. It says contact me for more details or to schedule a tour, has agent first name, last name, your first name, your last name, and your designations. All of this is being pulled from your marketing profile. If you haven't filled that out, I highly recommend that you do so. If you need help, contact your local tech and they can help you with that. And if you come down here, you can see the required information that it has to go in, which is the market center information. And then it does have this nice snippet at the bottom to keep us legal that says, if you have a brokerage relationship with another agency, this material is not intended as a solicitation. Information is reliable, but not guaranteed and should not be considered legal or financial advice. Each Keller Williams office is independently owned and operated. So that nice little bit is also on there. When you are done, you want to go up here and click save. Save early, save often, because you will be very sad if you do a lot of work and then it goes away. If you come up here to options, you can see a preview, you can send a test email, or you can click download template. Regardless of whether or not you decide to send this email out wide or just to a few people, you always want to send a test email to yourself. So I'm going to send a test email to me. And notice I did this plus sign here. That you can add to any of into any of your emails right there at the end of whatever your email address is. So it says C Grandstaff is my normal email. I could add this plus whatever, and it'll still get to me. So if you can add on those little tails there and then label them so that you can go back and look at them later in your email. So go ahead and hit send test email, and you'll get a test email to yourself, and it'll show you those pictures and everything. And you can go back and look and see if you're missing anything or if something didn't transfer over. And if it didn't, you can come back and fix that. If there's something in one of these that you don't have that you want to add, over here in the content boxes, you can always grab and drag and drop something into your email. So let's say I want that listing block there. I can add that in. Again, if you double click, you can select listing and select maybe some properties nearby or something like that. So you can make like a custom neighborhood nurture here if you wanted to for one of your clients. If you want to send this out to something else, you can hit download template and get the HTML, or if you want to share it with one of your fellow agents, you can do this as well. And you can click either template with the merge tags filled, or you can do the raw template. So let's say that you want to share it with another agent, say, hey, I'm getting really some great traction on this email design. Maybe you should use it as well. Go ahead and download that and share it with them using the raw template. And that way it'll fill it out with their information instead of yours. And then when you're done, just hit download selected. Hit save changes again, save early, save often. If someone does share one of those email template designs with you, you can import it by clicking import design right here. Oh, sorry, nope, I take it back, apologize. That's not where it's at. I hit create design and email, import HTML. That's where you can import that file from. Or if you know HTML well, we can be best friends. But you can go ahead and paste your HTML code in there if you already know HTML. Okay. Any questions on email designs? All right, let's move on. So if we go back out to designs and click create design, we can also create social designs. Social is important because that's where most people live their lives today. Um, you can look at the stats. I'm not going to quote exactly what the stats are because I haven't looked lately, but a lot of people are finding their homes online today, and they're finding their real estate agents online as well. So if you're not utilizing social media, I highly recommend that you do. Relationships are built face to face, but social media can help you be kept to the uh, sorry, let me start again. Social media can help people remember you and keep you at the front of their mind. So if you are also always going in and saying, hey, by the way, I have this house for sale, or hey, I have, I'm looking for this. Does anybody know of anything? Or hey, I'm a real estate agent. You would be surprised at the number of people that you'll have contact you. 80% of buyers and sellers go with the first realtor to make contact. So making that contact on social media is a great way to do that. If we go to social, then you've got all of these different categories that you can choose from, starting with K-Score. There's listings, buyer, lead generation, business basic, leadership, holidays, luxury, and collections. Since we just had Easter, let's see what holidays we've got here. So we're going to click on April. Happy Tax Day. There's several different options here. You've got social stories. These are great for your Instagram and Facebook stories. You have Social Square, which you can share on Instagram or Facebook. And then Social Wide, which is just Facebook. So I suggest for most people to either use stories if they're wanting something to be there, but then go away. So especially with holidays, because it is that day. Oh, we do have Earth Day coming up, don't we? Yeah, so we could do like Happy Earth Day. So stories is something like just day of, okay? And square is something that you want to stick around and last for a while. Maybe you do both. Maybe you have the story and you have the square as well. So we're going to go ahead and click use on one of these stories. And it's already made for us, right? We're not having to change a lot of things. All we have to change is this DBA name on here, which is our logo. And if we click on it, it should pull up our assets on the side. If you don't already have these loaded, I can show you how to do that. But make sure that you have your Market Center logos added. That way you don't have to go back out, find it, and pull it in. So if we click on this, we get our logos on the left-hand side, and then we can click the little refresh symbol here to replace that logo. Didn't have to do much. Now we can go ahead and download it and use it how we wish. Let's back out and see how we can add those. So if you're at the home screen, at the top here, you should see a tab that says Assets. You want to go in here and add images, text, logos, anything that you have. Go ahead and add to your assets. If you're wondering about the color palette, you can actually find this on KW Connect under their marketing tab. I don't know if you can you all still see this screen on Google search? We're going to go to KW Connect. Want to make sure that you can still see it. Can somebody pop in the chat and tell me whether or not you can see my KW Connect screen? Okay, awesome, thank you. All right, so on KW Connect, if you go to resources and marketing, right here is logos and branding. This is the identity and style guide. If you click this and then click download now, it'll open it up. And if you're in Chrome, it'll open up in a new window. It's just a PDF. And in here, towards the very bottom, You have the color palette. So if you wanted to add the color palette, you can. You also have the fonts in here, Helvetica Neue and Adobe Garamond Pro. So you can add those as well into your KW assets so that you can use those and everything looks fluid and seamless. Also on this marketing, under the logos and branding, you can come down here and find your Market Center logos. So if you know your Market Center number, you can add it in here and it'll pull up the list. Or if you don't know the Market Center number, you can always type out the name. Oh, that didn't work. Let's try again. Realty Services. And you can preview to make sure, oh yeah, that's our logo, right? And then you can download those so that you have all of them. And it gives you a folder of all the CMYK, the RGB, the black and whites, everything that you have for yours. So you're going to want to go in and add those colors, add those fonts. If you have images, as a real estate agent, your identity is your brand. So I highly recommend that you go in and add your profile pictures that you have, your headshots, anything that you have there. If you have your personal logos as well, like if you have a team logo or something, make sure that you add those. Make sure that you add your realtor and equal housing opportunity logos in here. That way that you have all of that available for you, so to make your designs a lot easier when you're making them. All right, let's go back to our templates. And let's look at a listing template. So the reason why I'm doing a listing template, not that listings aren't still going like hotcakes, but just to give you some of the extra options that they have. So we're going to go with a social story. And again, I was talking about how you'll see that those same names along the line. So if we look right here, this is approachable because it has the dots, right? That's the same. Or modern. All those are kind of the same. If you come to like, might be able to better see it on like the postcards. Maybe not. Some of them you can. We're going to go back to social stories here. We're going to pick our design. We're going to click use, that little use button in the top right. And this says just listed, which we like, but that's not where our place is. We come over here to where it says KWLS and click that. We can search for a listing by listing address. So don't know of one right now, but oh wait, no, it's Ballantree. Oh, let's just pick this one. This one in Alpharetta right here. So if we're going to click this right here, we're going to hit select. And it's going to go ahead and takes it a second, but it's going to pull in the photos and the listing details of this listing for us. So right here, we want to have the address. If we go to listing details, we can replace that with the address right here. You can go in here and double click, change any information that you want to. So I don't like that line was there. It doesn't say Georgia. I'm going to add that in there. Whatever you want to do as far as that is concerned. You can also change the font size. You can change the opacity, the color, just like you could with any other design program. This photo obviously isn't our listing, so we want to double click that as well. Go to photos in our listing over here. And let's replace it with, oh, I'm actually going to hit done and just select it. I'm sorry. We're going to replace it with, I like this photo of the dining room. So we're going to use that same refresh logo and replace the image. Now, I don't really like how it's positioned because that light is off center. So if I double click, I can then drag to adjust it. And yeah, that looks about centered. And when I'm done, I'm just going to click done up here. We can also change this information down here to reflect the listing details. Same thing, we just go over here. We can look right here and see this is the current list price. So we're going to change this to be the current list price. So that changes that there. And we also want to make sure that we're changing our logo down here. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit just so I can see a little bit better. There we go. Now, it's important to note that if you are using one of these social story or social posts in a campaign, that it's going to add your logo again. So just be aware of that. Once we're done, we click done. We can hit download. We do not use the share button here to share to our Facebook or whatever, because it will just link to the design itself. So we want to make sure that we either click done and save so we can come back and find it, or that we download it. We're going to go back in and do another one. Social. And notice there's this little checkbox right here that says import photos and text from the listing. If you wanted to go ahead and do that, you can. Then you can search by the property address. Oh, sometimes that happens. That's okay. Well, let's see if we can get back in here. Okay. So we're going to go to Social Square. Again, just note that your Market Center logo will show up if you do this in a campaign. So if you don't want that duplicated, just be aware of that. I'm going to go ahead and click use on this one. So let's pretend that we've gone through and we've done all our edits. If it loads. Let's try again. This is the reason why we save early and save often, is because we sometimes have to reload. So let's pretend we've got this just how we want it. I'm going to move that out a little bit. We're going to hit download. You have different file types that you can download as. You can download as a JPEG, a PNG, a PDF for printing, or if it's a video, you can download video. So in the socials, as in the stories especially, you can add different, you can add animation to it as well. Let's see if I could. So you have templates here. You can change the templates. This is actually two. So if we click pages, you can see the second page here. You can add animation to it. I've forgotten how at the moment. Let's look at elements. Nope. I thought maybe I could find it, but I can't. So download video, and you can do a video as well. So once I figure out how to do animations, I can't remember how to do it right this second, we can do a video. So you want to make sure that you're downloading as a higher quality PNG if you are going to be sharing this. Just because Facebook and Instagram go ahead and downgrade your quality so much as is, so you want to make sure that you have that PNG. If you're posting this to the web, you on a website or something, and you want it for fast purposes, you want to do a JPEG instead. If you are downloading to print it, do PDF for printing. And also make sure that you're including bleed and crop marks if you are going to be cutting this yourself, but include bleed if you are going to be printing it off and having somebody else do it, you will want to do that. So we're going to look at prints just a little more in detail. So I'm going to go ahead and hit done. Print is the next one we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and hit continue. So prints are great for postcards, for flyers, whatever you need. So let's look at lead generation and home value. So these are great door hangers as well. You can download these and use them on Avery's door hangers if you buy those. Let's look at this one. This is a postcard. So it says, find out what your home's worth. If we click pages here, we can see that second page. And notice that it leaves a space. This space is for the address and the return address. If you decide to use these in postcard campaigns, you want to download and you want to include that bleed, especially so PDF for printing, and include your bleed, or else it won't be the correct size if you're going to use them in your postcard campaigns. But it does have that space, so anytime you're designing your postcards, make sure to leave that space. Notice it has all of the stuff that you might want on your postcard, as well as that compliance tag. Again, each office is independently owned and operated. We're going to look one more time because I'm going to do a different one at print. And we're going to look at listings. Open house. We're going to look at the flyers. Now, the reason why I'm looking at these, we're going to use this, is because let's say that you are going to have an open house. You can order prints directly from the designs tab. So you don't have to download this and send it to your printer, whomever. You can go ahead and click order print right here. It's going to ask you some questions. What do you want the paper thickness to be? How do you want the paper stock to be? And how many copies do you want? So this is a great way to order prints just right directly inside this. It takes about a week to get the stuff, just to kind of be aware of the timeline. I had a agent order business cards, and they were here within 10 days. So that was pretty good. All right, I'm going to look one more time and see if I can figure out these animations for you guys. Any questions while I'm trying to do this? Have I confused you totally and completely? All right, let's look and see if I can do this one. Oh, I guess I could show you all how to do one from blank as well. Hmm. Oh no. I really thought full title over here. Elements? Oh, yeah, let me tell you about elements right quick. So we have available to us all kinds of stock photos. Let's say I want a picture of a happy family. I can type out happy family and I want to do this little filter here. I want to click this and under collections, I want to click free and include it in my plan and unselect available in other plans, then hit apply. And it's going to pull in some different things, right? So I really like this one. So let's put this one here. So you can drag in those photos and those elements. You can have all of those quite easily. I'm kind of getting annoyed because I totally had the animations available to me the other day. And I don't know where they've gone. Oh, me. Let me look. Let me see if I can find this right quick. Give me just a second. Okay, so apparently animations wasn't available. It's normally there. I'm not missing it. I'm not crazy. I promise it's there. It's just not showing up for me today. Let's see, social stories. Let's try this one. Use. It should be over here on the left-hand side, and there should be a button right here, but it is missing for me. I apologize, guys. Presentation to sellers. I can totally show you how to do that. Okay, let's go home. Now you can, again, customize absolutely anything, and it'll show up here on your home screen when you have made it and saved it. So let's go to templates. On the left-hand side, you're going to go to listings and then listing presentation. And here again, like I've told you before, the different types will be shown. So this says modern 2, modern 1, approachable, classic, classic. So there's different ones, classic 1 and classic 2. Any one you choose, pretty much the same information is in all of them. And you're just going to customize it to you. Listing presentations can help you win that listing. So I highly recommend that you go in and do one and customize it to yourself. And then edit that one whenever you're going on a listing. So on the right here at the bottom, you have all of those pages. Make sure to open that so that you can see the different pages. You have your front page here that you will probably want to keep. You can change that however you want. So if you click on the image, you can come over here and select a stock image instead of that one. If you want a, not that I can spell apparently today. Maybe you like this one better. You can always change it. You know, you can always change what it looks like. You can always move it around, whatever you want to do. You can also add drawings, shapes, frames, texts up here. So like if I do, or a table, like a data table. So if I do a frame here, I can change the shape of that. So maybe I don't like the way that that frame is. You can change it to lots of different ones. Let's change it to this one. Let's do that one. So instead of this, we're going to go ahead and make this about the same size. Put it in the same place. Delete the other one. And then you can then replace that with your image. And so then you have a different table. Now, you can right click and do layer order. And we're going to send that one. Oh, I didn't want to go all the way down. Send to bottom. There we go. So you can change your layer order. But you'll want to go through and look at your different pages here. It'll have the instructions. You don't want the instructions to be shown to all of your clients. So you're going to click on this 3-dot menu or hot dog menu, depending on who you ask, and hit delete. It'll say yes, ask you yes or no to confirm. Change this information to reflect your personal information. This one says a customary consultation exclusively prepared for and the client's names here. You can always remove that and not have that information at all on there. So this kind of gives a table of contents of what's in here. Some of them do have the Keller mortgage. So you, and it does have a sheet there and tell you like what information you can share and what you can't. So you want to make sure that you remove that if you're not doing that. So you just want to come through and do, you know, this is the property itself. You can get on the PVA website, you can take your own photos and put it in here. But remember, if you're not the listing agent, you can't use the previous listing agent's photos, but you can get all the information and everything. I think the next thing, yeah, is the market snapshot. You can find that information really quickly on the referrals tab. So you might be, or not referrals tab, so sorry. You can pull this information in pretty quickly. So, you know, I highly recommend going in and doing that. This is your CMAs here. You can pull those in, or you could decide that you don't want to do any CMAs, that you want to delete that out. You can totally delete that page out. And then you'll want to customize all of this wording to make it sound like you. So, you know, if you want to go in here and like adjust the wording, do so. It goes through and has the like a little checklist and everything, which I think is really cool. Some clients really like paper, so they're going to love this and they're going to love being able to check that off. And some clients are going to be like, I hate paper, especially like your millennials. They're like, why did you hand me paper? So you can send this as a PDF as well. Don't forget that. You want to go through, put your app information here. You can find that on the consumer tab. If you have any trouble, just can ask me and I can show you how to find that. The app is really useful though, because it does have those checklist guides and everything, or the process guides that you can customize. It's interesting that that's a little messed up there. Here we go. Marketing plan. If you are not going to go through and do a marketing plan for them, take this out. If you are going to do a custom marketing plan for them, then leave it in and add in what you personally are going to do. Go through and you look and see make sure that the data is up to date. If you need to change any of this data, you can find sometimes, like if you're looking and you're like, I'm not sure if this data is up to date or not, you can go on the NAR's website and look and find stats. Again, this is part of that custom marketing plan. So anything that you're not going to do, go ahead and pull out. Okay. Open house, like if you're not going to do an open house for them, pull that out. You can come down through here and you can see, you can do more CMAs here, or you can do your own portfolio of things that you've sold. Some people say like that they go in and they say, oh, I don't want to do 6. Well, they have a 6 option. They have this 3 option laid out like this. Or they have this 3 option laid out like this. I don't know why this is not, why it's acting funny today. Just for me. It's just for me. Here's where you can put testimonials. And again, you can delete any of these pages that you don't want. If you don't agree with any of this stuff, or if you're like, oh, I hate that, then pull it out. You can always change everything. This is from, way back when we had COVID times. I'm just kidding. So sailing safely. There are still people who really want to know, like, what are your protocols as far as that's concerned, because they're really scared still. So this is a very useful page right there. And, it has like your signature right here or whatever. You can change this to be whatever you want it to be. Make sure that you go through each individual page and change the information, and also go on here and make sure that you change like your and have your Market Center name and everything on here. And once you do so, you can hit done and save it. And then when you have your next listing, you can just come in and change a few things. And then again, the next time and the next time. Now, a couple of the different listings have some stats and stuff in there. You can add your personal stats. You can add your Market Center stats. You could add the regional stats in there, These are all things like, it says like awards and stuff like that. You can even do international awards on some of the listing presentations when it has like, oh, here are some of our awards. You can add that stuff in because, Keller Williams is the best. So when you're done, you just download. Again, instead of PDF for printing, you would probably want to do PDF standard if you're going to email it. But unselect that bleed. And then you want to make sure that you select all the pages. I am notorious for only doing page 1 for some reason. So make sure that you have all the pages selected. Again, any page you don't want, you can do this and hit delete. You can actually duplicate pages too. So like if you come down here to your CMAs, maybe you have more than 4. You can always duplicate this page. Now, do remember this is a booklet. So, this is going to be on the left-hand side. You may want to change the next one to look like it's on the right-hand side by like moving things over to the right-hand side of the page. So just an idea, just things to think about. Any other questions? No? Are y'all sure? Well, thanks for hanging out with me
Wait
today.
a minute. I'm sorry. I have a question.
No, that's okay. Go
I
ahead.
was like on double mute. I was like, okay, what I got going on here? Okay, so so I am new, right? And so like for some of those things, what do you suggest I put in? Because like I'm meeting with my first client tomorrow, and I want to go through this and do the presentation with them. Even though it's my sister-in-law, I want to, you know, get some good practice in and get some feedback from her, and I don't want to treat her different than any other client, right? So
Sure.
do you have any suggestions on what like for a new agent, like should I, you know, because some of that stuff doesn't, I won't have any, you know, like testimonials or anything like that. Should I just delete that out, or should I use a testimonial that is like just
Yeah. So
for
same.
like Keller Williams, because, you know.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
yes, that's
Come
so
on,
that's
boys.
why I said that about that about using the regional or the your market center testimonials. Go onto your market center's Facebook page and see if they have any testimonials on there. And if they're kind of generic enough, you know, you can go ahead and use those. Things like that. Go ahead and do that. Find those testimonials for your regional and for international even, because it looks good, right? You know, it helps fill it out. So yeah, I do recommend adding testimonials in if you have those and you like that. Does that help you,
Thank you so
April?
much.
You're very
Yes,
welcome.
ma'am. Thank you.
Any other questions? You totally can have my contact information. So my name is Candace Grandstaff. I will put it in the chat. I am at Keller Williams Realty Services in Florence, Kentucky. My email address is cgrandstaff@kw.com. That's CGRANSTAFF. There's no D at kw.com. My phone number, if y'all want to text me or whatever, it's 859-429-0315. And I will put that all in the chat so that you have that as well. Thank you all so very much. I really appreciate your time today. And hopefully that you learned some good things. Give everybody a second. Any other questions? Normally animations is over here in the left-hand side. By the way, I'm not crazy. It's just missing. I don't know if they've taken it away from me, probably because I abused it. But I do like animations for stories because it is eye-catching. All right. Well, again, thank you all for hanging out with me. Email me if you need anything else. Have a great rest of your day.